questions will begin with David Collison.
My question is for both of you, and it concerns the Reconciliation Commission that Sri Lanka is setting up. Human rights groups, including Human Rights Watch today, basically said that the parameters of this commission are much too narrow and that there really should be an independent international investigation of the alleged war crimes that occurred at in the last month of the war. And I just wonder what your reflections are on that.
Well, the United States supports the creation of the Reconciliation Commission. It's a commission on lessons learned and reconciliation. The end of the conflict in Sri Lanka is, as the minister said, a promising opportunity to move forward on ensuring greater respect for the human rights of all Sri Lankans. Experience in other countries has shown that such a commission that has the credibility and legitimacy within the country has a valuable role in advancing accountability. And we are very supportive of the approach taken by the Sri Lankans. We, of course, will continue to work with them and to observe this commission. We expect that it will be given a broad enough mandate with the resources necessary to be able to follow the trail of any evidence that is presented. It is especially important that commission members be and are perceived as being independent, impartial, and competent. And the minister has told me in our meeting that that's exactly the kind of people that are being appointed to this commission. We expect that the mandate will enable them to fully investigate serious allegations of violations and to make public recommendations, that commission members and potential witnesses must enjoy adequate and effective protection, and the commission must be able to work with the government so that the government will give due consideration to the recommendations. And we expect that this commission will reflect the desires and needs of the citizens of Sri Lanka, who were, after all, the primary victims of this long and terrible conflict. I think that the steps that have been taken by the Sri Lankan government are, commendable, and we are, supporting that effort. The minister and I talked about the continuing role of the United Nations, which intends to have an independent oversight role. But I think that this commission holds promise, and we hope and expect that it will fulfill that promise.
Well, I think the point of departure is the observation by Secretary Clinton that the paramount consideration is the needs and the priorities of the people of Sri Lanka. Commissions of this nature have made a useful contribution to healing processes in other parts of the world in post-conflict scenarios, but the focus has to be on the local culture, on the local situation. So it is our firm conviction that the commission which has been set up in Sri Lanka, consisting of people of stature and independence with a mandate that is broad enough to address the critical issues. The mandate specifically empowers the commission to give their minds to these issues. Adequate financial resources have been placed at the disposal of the commission, and the commission enjoys a broad measure of public support within Sri Lanka, which is a decisive consideration. So our plea is that we be given the space to allow the commission to begin its work without impediment or without hindrance. And certainly along the road, if we feel that there is a need for support, then we would certainly be happy to engage in a dialogue with the United Nations to get the benefit of the wisdom and the experience of the United Nations. But we think that at the start, the Commission must be given every encouragement to set about its work, and there must be a presumption that it is going to succeed. We must begin on that note. It's going to succeed. We want it to succeed. And we want all our friends abroad to support us vigorously and unreservedly in that endeavor.
Madam Secretary, thank you. So many.
But as the President said yesterday, this is the highest priority from the President on down to every federal government representative that is, in the Gulf, trying to, work to mitigate the impact. But we are, as I said in the beginning, very grateful for the concern and the offers from our partners and friends around the world.
Thank you very much.
Madam Secretary, are you standing Dr. Shah to Sri Lanka for humanitarian aid?
We are continuing to provide humanitarian aid to Sri Lanka. We are doing so as a part of our very long partnership with Sri Lanka, and we support the Sri Lankan government's efforts to expedite the delivery of such humanitarian assistance. As I said, the number of internally displaced persons has dropped dramatically. We are still providing humanitarian assistance to those who remain in the camps, but we're moving far beyond that to repair schools, to help with infrastructure, to create jobs. So the emergency humanitarian aid has moved to be broader than just the immediate necessities, because as the Minister has said, we agree with the government of Sri Lanka that it is not enough merely to return people to their homes. We have to help them recreate livelihoods. We have to rebuild and repair schools. We have to, provide the necessities of life to the people who are returning after this conflict finally ended, and help the Sri Lankan government and the people of Sri Lanka build a firm foundation for peace, security, and prosperity. Thank you. Thank you all.
Any message from Sri Lanka to defeat Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan? Thank you, Madam Secretary.